David had been driving for hours on a deserted highway when he saw a sign, "Welcome to Ravenshade." His gas tank was nearly empty, and he needed a break. As he drove into the town, everything looked completely normal. People walked along the streets, stores were open, children played near a park. But then he noticed something that sent a chill down his spine. The town was completely silent. No voices, no footsteps, no rustling of leaves. Even the air felt heavy, as if sound itself had been erased. David parked his car near a small cafe and stepped out, expecting to hear the usual sounds of a busy town. But all he heard was nothing. He walked past a group of people sitting at a cafe, sipping coffee. Their lips moved as if they were talking, but there was no sound. It was as if the whole world had been muted. His heartbeat quickened. Curious and unsettled, he entered a nearby convenience store. The old bell above the door should have rung, but it didn't. The shopkeeper, a frail-looking man, stood behind the counter, his eyes filled with something between fear and warning. David cleared his throat and asked, "Excuse me, can you tell me where I am?" The moment he spoke, everyone outside stopped moving. People turned their heads toward the store. Their faces were blank, eyes unblinking. A woman in a red coat standing across the street dropped her shopping bag, apples rolling onto the pavement. But she didn't pick them up. The shopkeeper's face turned pale as he shook his head violently, signaling David to stay quiet. His hands trembled as he grabbed a notepad and scribbled something down, then shoved the paper toward him. David read the note. "Don't speak. They are listening." A shiver ran down his spine. Who are they? A low whisper suddenly filled the air, but it wasn't coming from anyone inside the shop. It was outside. A chilling, raspy voice echoed through the town, though no lips moved. It grew louder, layered, as if multiple unseen voices were speaking at once. David turned toward the door. The people outside were still staring. Only now, their mouths were open, wider, unnaturally wide. The whispering turned into a deep, guttural sound. The lights in the store flickered. The shopkeeper desperately motioned for David to run. David turned to bolt out the back door, but before he could move, the windows shattered. Dark figures, shadowy and featureless, slithered into the room like smoke. The whispering was now inside his head. He clutched his ears, but the sound only grew louder. The last thing he saw was the shopkeeper's face, twisted in silent terror, before everything faded to black. Final message appears on screen. Some places have rules. Break them, and you might never leave.